Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. Isn't this a beautiful box? And you would expect something no less beautiful when it comes to storing Edith Holden pages and fussy cuts. So, like many of you, I am mesmerized by her talent. I also, until recently, like in the last few days, didn't know that she died an untimely death, accidental drowning, when she was very young, something like maybe 28 years old or something crazy like that. And that makes me especially sad because when you think what a talented person she was and how much potential was lost with that untimely early death, it's sad. So when I take apart a book, this is what I ended up with. Now, we know that her hand lettering is, very recognizable and very attractive in itself. We also know that, the names of the months, the page numbers, those are all very, very nice as well. Now, I had two different sizes of books, so naturally in the smaller size, right here, in the smaller size, the printing is that much smaller, the pages are that much smaller, everything is scaled down. So I have the luxury of two sizes here. So I've got this kind of stuff, and before I turned on the camera, again, you can thank me later, I went through a number of these little bits. So part of a month name, a descriptor of one of the illustrations. I have page numbers here. Now, so I have this nearby because what I intend to, the purpose of this whole video is going to be, number one, why did I buy these things? Why did I do all this work if I'm not using them? So I'm forcing myself to use them. Plus, obviously using the bases that I made, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Oh, and I should also show you. I actually need to find a smaller pouch that would actually fit in this box, because that would make more sense to keep it all together. So in here I have like the full pages, or I have removed, so if it's something that's too beautiful and you can't decide, so I folded a few signature pages there. And again, and here are the covers. Not so sure because they have that plasticky finish, so I don't know if anything can be done with that. But anyway, it's here. So of course, what does a person do when you can't decide? So you either hinge the page or whatever. So you can see in some cases I made what could be a cute page in a tiny journal. So I haven't looked through this for ages. I found a few more folded ones, but and I haven't looked through these because I was busy. I was very, very busy. And what was I doing? I was fussy cutting a couple of snakes. The last thing on my list I would want to do. And even more repulsive is this creature here. And I did find a few other teeny tiny things that could be salvaged. And the reason I'm fooling around with these tiny things, and I got a few more page numbers, and look, here's a caterpillar. This, I didn't bother trying to fussy cut. Anyway, the reason I'm looking at these teeny weeny things as opposed to the bigger images, because some of them are really quite big. Oh, see, I folded this like so to make a signature page. So that should actually be with the pages. You didn't know you were getting a sorting video when you hit play. See, even a little fold like this then can be used. Okay, so let me get something like this. Could be turned into a belly band or a side pocket. But again, we're not doing that today. I'm just sort of eliminating, maybe I'll keep that one nearby, eliminating the very biggest ones or the very horizontal ones. And I'll show you why in a second. Maybe I'll leave these near me. I'll get rid of this. So you probably, well, I don't know if you would have seen it yet or not. Maybe not. There is a thrift haul video coming up where I show a little, or maybe it's already aired. I don't know. Anyway, these all came out of a book, a sample book, as the size you see them, except that I cut the name off. So black, slate, teal, whatever. These are fabrics that are used for outdoors. So they're, you know, have a UV filter in them to prevent fading, and they're waterproof and so on. So anyway, I thought, okay, I could either put that away and forget I had it, or I could back them. Most of these are on a couple pieces of creamy colored cardstock. Some are on white. And then I also took them to the sewing machine and sewed around them. So I thought, okay, now what? And you know how I've said that ironing is meditative? Well, apparently so is sewing if you don't have any other things happening in the room. I've got these little frayed things. These aren't great scissors for that. Anyway, as I was doing that, I thought, well, why don't I combine these with my Edith Holden stuff, which I'm saving for, who knows, a rainy day, I guess. And it is a rainy day. So why not sort of spread these out and see if I can make the whole set using bits of text, page numbers. Oh, here's a teeny little egg. And that's why, obviously, a scaled down size is necessary. I could salvage those butterflies if necessary. I don't know yet. This bird is too big, so he should go somewhere else. So that is the plan. Now, I do have my glue standing by, but I'm really hoping that I won't be gluing anything, because you all know how to glue stuff, to other stuff. Another egg. We don't throw this away. Oh yeah, there's some big things here. I didn't pull enough of them out by the looks of it. See, on this, I do have a red here. So, oh, see, and I would want to get in there and do better fussy cutting. But my intention at this point is to just pick a few elements. So I do have many of the month names here, and if they're not here, that's just part of December. But that could work, because if it was much wider, it wouldn't even fit on the width of this card. So that'll probably be together. So let's just start doing this. Oh, and I did sort of tear around And I think I'm not going to worry about whether the text matches the imagery, because that would be a little goofy. Take longer than I would want to spend. Now, if there was a very cute little poem that was intact, or this, oh, they're talking about tadpoles here, then I kept that sort of together as well. So I could, without belaboring this much more, pick something like that. Something, now that's as a thumbnail, so, but if we cover it up, so that's a good start on a card, or on a tag, I mean. So I'll put that aside. I should show you the cross section of colors. So I have burgundy, a couple of blues, turquoise, a few gray, well, neutrals, and a yellow, a black, and a green. So we'll just keep that sort of in our minds. Now you can probably notice that this little book was stapled together and glued at the end. Now, you know I usually start sewing bottom right-hand corner, but I could also flip this over and make sure that those staple little puckers are covered. It's probably most evident on that yellow one. Then on something like this, for some reason, it's almost like a run. You know, like a thread has been pulled or something. So, okay, that's what we're working with. So maybe it's simpler to find the focal point based on these colors and then just grab some text. So I'm going to try to pull these in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. So these birds, see, too wide. Now, how long is this anyway? 6 1/4. My shortest one is black. That's 5 1/2. Even that would be pushing it like for a pocket. And this I need to either ink or cut closer. So I think we almost out of necessity have to eliminate anything that is horizontal. That's too wide. This is too gigantic, unless a person does some pruning. Cut it right here, but even that is too wide. So let's hope that we have, oh, some mushrooms. Now those might be nice on the sort of tan colored one. So let's consider that in the semifinals. And the bigger one is better then. Too big, again, unless I separate the leaves. So I could, I'd have a notch out of that. I could, well, I'll keep this nearby in case I have to separate that. There's another one, but it's too wide, I would say. And I don't know about you. You can tell me in the comments if you're so inclined. Do you do your sewing? Well, number one, do you sew around your cards or around your stuff, or don't you? And if you do you do it before or after you decorate? I kind of like that on the green. Mind you, I'd lose some of that. So we'll keep that there and see if we find a smaller version. We may find that there are too many things that are actually a little too big. That looks like a blue-gray to me. So that could work on there. Or on this, looks like a menswear tweed to me. Now here, if we did something elongated because those mushrooms are pretty short. So, well, we could do we could do something like this along the side. I would get rid of most of that. Let's just hold that in abeyance for now. Oh, look at those little berries. Hey, that could be good on the maroon colored one if we had some other focal point there. Okay, more mushrooms. You see how I keep gravitating to colors that match? Oh, here is a bigger version of the same. That fits almost perfectly. I could probably angle it slightly and and make that work. So we'd use the bigger one. I don't know about that. Here's just some greenery. Let's see what we have over here. So, you know, this is, I guess this could just as easily be called a mass make. This might be nice on the light gray. There's that thing to cover. Possibility, or that might also look good on black, but then anything looks good on black. Here's some sort of a pod of some kind. Oh, here's a leaf. So sometimes I leave my fussy cutting like that just so that things don't get ripped during the storage process. Look how huge this is. So I think I'm going to set that aside for now and try to use more of the small bits. Oh, here's a tiny bird. I don't know. Okay, we can probably do some cascading leaves here. That's pretty big. We'll make a little pile of leaves. And then we'll jump in the pile. These, you know, some of this might work in with those mushrooms. It's more of the same, but bigger. Maybe the bigger version is better. And, you know, to be honest, again, I'm just talking out or thinking out loud, talking out loud. And a bigger bird. But the reality is, I don't know that a person can really go wrong with any of these Edith Holden images. See, and then a person could also, on something like this teal, which might be hard to use otherwise, a bigger thing with, you know, more colors and more background paper might be the answer there. Okay, still finding leaves. Oh no, I picked up the pile thinking I was doing something so clever. Okay, what have we got here? Another leaf. Got a tiny, tiny butterfly. Oh, this is a little cute little bit of blue. And of course, now if I use much of this up, then of course I'm going to feel like, oh, I better cut another book up. Should use these, I don't know what I hope you can see something. Oh, and I better not forget the snakes. Where's the other guy? Oh, and this. Okay, 2 snakes. And this little thing. So I'm going to kind of put some of these wispier things together. Oh, that mauve is kind of nice. More leaves. Okay, so these are either very tiny or they're very wispy. Leaves, leaves, wispy, wispy, wispy. Sorry. So, this is quite nice. I'm not going to cut it any closer. I think we should try to narrow down some of the choices, though, because at this rate, it's just, all I've done is made piles. Oh, and I can use, I said I could separate those if necessary. Okay. And, you know, some of these colors are going to, you know, not be the easy. Well, they're going, I treat them as a neutral and they'll be fine. There's also this viney thing that I could tear closer. But let's actually make some headway with some of these things. Put these off to the side so that we can focus on this. So, excuse me, got a frog in my throat. Could it be because this is my 4th video of the day? Not a concept. Okay. This isn't much of a tag so far. Let's look for, because this is quite a bit bigger, we could probably afford little stumpier, is that a word? Stumpier bits of text. And there are the, I don't know if you can see them, but I can, the little staple marks. Sorry. Might have to pop a lozenge. And, of course, we can use a page number as well. I could leave those 2 sides, not this though, those 2 sides as a straight edge, because they're kind of, they would be butted up probably to the thread line. Just wondering where I stuck the small months. They're probably in that mess over there. Okay, just to make things a bit different, we'll have another piece down here that is kind of more like that. This doesn't actually need any more fussy cutting. I'm not going to bother inking either. And then, of course, once it's all laid down, I think I'm going to, like I said, prune this off, just the leaf. I'll leave that little other thing there. added to the leaf pile. Not trim anything more until this is glued down because, excuse me, you know, what if I go to one side more than the other, blah, blah, blah. So let's call this one done, or at least pre-selected. Now, oh, do I want to look maybe for September? I thought I had kind of put all the months aside. I can do that after the fact because, you know, a label might, there's an August, a label might be the answer as well. Oh, I just got a sharp pain in my head. Is that from all this thinking? Okay, stop doing that. I'll put this aside knowing that I might look for a month or use something else. This needs to be further fussy cut. And of course, it could also, see, this is a curved thing. That was a scissor cut there. Do those other red little berries have a place here or not? Probably not. How about that little bird? I probably need him more elsewhere. We're going to call this done for the time being. I'm just stacking them off out of view there. Okay, let's deal with this yellow, which is not a favorite color, and those snakes. What would happen? This feels like it should be horizontal. And yet all of these are too long to be pockets. We don't want that, so, or do I put the little guy in the foreground, keep the bigger snake for later? This is almost like camouflage here. But then the magnificence sense of his tail is sort of covered. I do have other, where are they? Smaller mushroom, not the answer. But I had other styles, other shapes of mushrooms. Oh, those are all leaves. There's a leaf. More leaves. I remember we used to sell these in our shop. Of course, somebody must have cut them off wherever they were growing. I think they would have undergone a process, oh, here's the mushroom, would have undergone a process of some kind so that, you know, they weren't shipping vermin across, you know, country or continent. And yeah, we would work these flat structures. It was nice to tier them, almost like steps in floral arrangements. Oh, we don't have any any text here. That would help fill that. By going vertically with this text, obviously it elongates the look of the thing, and it does help fill up space. So now all of a sudden this doesn't look quite as skimpy as it did before. Now, a person, I don't know, is August the right time for those mushrooms? She lived in England, so who knows? Maybe that bridges the gap between that thing and this guy slithering on the ground there. I think I can live with that, with the additional fussy cutting. Do we want a brown butterfly in the corner? Or I guess a moth. Put it aside. What else do we have? Oh, we were looking at, oops. We were looking at this. Oh, here's another. And I have more of these little twiggy things if I need to. Okay, first of all, let's shorten this so it does not extend beyond the edges of the tag. And again, because this paper is nice, if I wanted that white edge, I would be tearing in this direction. But I'm tearing away, or this part is coming towards me. And if you're unsure, and sometimes I am, just test it on, do a 1/4 inch, and then you'll know immediately if you're going the right way for the look you want. Okie dokie. It's hard. Okay, that's right side up. I was going to say it's hard to tell which is right side up when I like that because it looks like she used Payne's Gray or something there for that. It almost, see this shadow underneath this bird? It almost seems as though that bird is sitting on a mushroom. Is that logical? I don't know. I could find something horizontal. See, again, part of me just wants to be accurate. So I would be disinclined to put the word blackberry there when it's even a blind man could see that that's not a blackberry. Weasels, owls, etc. Whoops. Hey, maybe that fell into place there for a reason. Quite a bit of white showing there, so maybe let's use this side. We're going to say that one is done. Now, I do have a few pieces of this. I won't use the biggest ones, obviously, but maybe, hard to tell, up or down. This is up, I would say. This could be another, now this one is kind of just loaded with imagery. It almost doesn't seem fair, but I'll leave that there for the time being. I think that's going to be hunky-dory. Better not forget about the eggs. And let's make it my business. We better use the caterpillar. These prickly things are kind of cool also. Okay, I think I had... What are we going to do with him? Maybe this earth-colored one. Look what my bobbin did. But we'll let it be. Staples are there. We'll leave that down. Now I can just trim this off a hair. Better than cutting his tail off, I suppose. Okay, book page. Where was that thing about shrew? I forgot even what that thing is called. That critter. Some of these are far too big for using here, so I shouldn't have them in this pile. Because it's just more to dig through fruitlessly. Hey, holly. Holly, holly. We'll put that with the Christmas one, or with the holly one. Okay, what am I looking for? Something vertical, I guess. Again, we're trying to fill that. Can sometimes, well, you can tell with the page number. I don't think I want to spoil this vine. Some of these pages aren't that great to choose from because they're just more like captions. Cuckoo buds of yellow, you do paint the meadows with delight. That's about a nest, but I could use that side. Let's use that side. I also have these little guys, but that too needs to be horizontal. Okay, so isn't it amazing how much talent this woman had? Although whatever it was that I was reading said that, well, you know, it wasn't that uncommon for ladies of the era. I mean, it's not like they were gainfully employed or something, so women of a certain age and, I guess, prosperity were, you know, they were painters and authors and so on. Okay, what happens if I pick something like that? Sticks to the green family. Again, not thrilled about doing this whatsoever. But maybe I could find a month. Honestly, I did separate them. Where the heck did they all go? Did I put them? I thought I made all my piles accessible to me. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I will put a month or a label or, I mean, all the page numbers are pretty tiny for anything like that. So maybe I put another piece crosswise here so everyone understands, oh, he's the focal point. That's why that's there. I don't think I want to waste my time fussy cutting this right now, but I guess one of those could be an option as well. Don't have anything else too tiny here, I don't think. What is this? Oh, that's a swallow. That's not plant life, that's a little teeny tiny bird. I could probably put something like that there. If I have anything left of it once I tear around it. Let's call that one done. Well, and I do have this thing I showed you earlier. Maybe I'll just throw all those on there and make the decision in the moment. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, I had that. And it could also be that I would have to, or is this one easier to do? That's got that little hair's breadth of teal in it. Maybe this. That's so tiny though. Now where did, oh, here it is. I was gonna say, where did I lose that? I'm gonna be very mad at myself if I accidentally put glue on these things without remembering to fussy cut. Okay, let's get some text on here. And because I have a couple of choices of font size, I can mix that up as well. Of course, it's pretty well all brown on what, acro cream, whatever color this is. Offsetting that looks very beautiful. And then when I fussy cut through there, I mean just the bigger areas, the blue will be showing through. And of course I can look for other things as well. I can, you know, add postage stamps or something. I could have this guy going sideways. Now that is not a very big bird, but I think it's all I have left. This caterpillar looks gigantic in size. There's also, that would look better on something darker. I better see what time it is because this is 42 minutes. Okay, this will probably be my last one because I have 3, 4, 5, 6 more to go. Do we want, I guess I kind of like it because it's got those bluey green. We'll keep this as is and see how it actually looks once the fussy cutting is done. I think I liked this on here. Or is that a better? Fussy tearing. Oh, do some words first. I hope that you are well and happily engaged in doing something creative. I hope that you are nowhere near the path of Milton. And if you did get affected by Helene and now are being subjected to this, well, my goodness, it just doesn't seem plausible. Doesn't seem fair, but then sometimes, you know, fair is one of those things we don't get to choose. Not fair that our harvest has gone on and on and on and is stalled by rain again. But once you succumb to or indulge in poor me thinking, it just goes downhill from there. Oh, I should be trying to remember those eggs. Maybe those belong with the bird, although this would be like an ostrich egg coming out of this little guy, that little sparrow. So let's maybe prevent that kind of pain. What I would do here is try to get this maybe a more irregular edge so that it looks a wee bit more interesting, and it's not just 3 big blocks of creamy colored paper. Did I have a butter? Oh, I could, oh, same thing, but bigger. Well, how do I get rid of that? Wood anemone, dog violet. That is a possibility, and I suppose, but I don't think I want to look through all those and see if I can find another bigger version of that. So, or what I could do is tear this off. Layer these guys, and I'm not going to ink anything, thank you very much, and then use this maybe like that as a separation between the two. So we're going to call that good. Let me do this black one, and then for sure I'm stopping because I think these might look very cool on there. Oh, this goes this way. This goes this way. I think you're probably getting the feeling that this is not going to come easy. Okay, executive decision. Stop right here and right now. So hopefully I will have the presence of mind to take a photo or take some photos of these guys once they're done and post them on Instagram or wherever, so that you can see them done, or I can show you, maybe because there's so many, maybe what I'll do is I'll show you in a follow-up Friday. Because so I'm not going to spread them out, but I will just quickly count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this. Yeah, 7 with 5 more to go. So not too bad. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. And if you're, sitting on your Edith Holden stuff because you think it's too beautiful to use, then by all means, pull it out, even the snakes, and use them in some way. Oh, I was just catching sight of, but of course it's too big. Too big, too big. Unless he's, oh, that came out of an address book. The tip of his wing would have to come off, so better not to do that. Okay, guys, thank you. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.